Good morning, children. How are you all? I hope all of you are healthy, happy, and safe at home. Welcome back to classes after term 1 exam. So, this is our first class, 2nd of November, isn't it, of EVS after completion of successfully completing our term 1. So, what are the one more important thing here, children. I need to discuss question paper, okay? So, that we will be doing in our live class, okay? And in today's class, let us start a new chapter from our PT2. Okay, so this is lesson number 7. Please write down lesson number, then name of the lesson, food for animals, in your copy. Write down today's date, that is 2nd of November. So what are the things we are going to learn in this chapter? In this particular chapter, okay, we are going to learn about herbivorous, carnivorous and omnivorous animal, okay? And we should be able to differentiate between these two and these three types of animal. And we will learn how these animals have some body adaptations as per need of food, okay? That we will learn and understand. Later we will learn about food chain and how these various different food chains are interlinked to make a food web, okay? And in last part of the chapter, we will understand about learn about some animal which may disappear from earth. So these are the things which should be clear to you when we complete this chapter. Okay, so let us move ahead and see what are the things we are going to learn in today's class. In today's class, children, we are going to recall our previous knowledge. I know the terms which I am going to use today in this particular class, terms may be known to you. Okay, so we are going to recall those terms and add few more information in those terms, okay, that we will be doing. And we should be able to define and differentiate different types of animal on the basis of food habit, okay? When this class completes, after this class, you should be able to define and differentiate different types of animal on the basis of food habit. So now moving ahead, see here few pictures, observe it very minutely. First picture, you can see a rabbit eating carrot. Second one, a lion tearing flesh. Third one, a cow is chewing grass. In these two pictures, see that bottom line here, you can see a bear having fish in his mouth. In the second one, he is having grasses. Yes, so the same animal, you can see different types of food here. Here a cat is having a rat in her mouth. So by observing all these pictures, we can say that different animals have different food habit, isn't it? So there may be some body adaptation, something might be there in their mouth, so that a lion is very easily able to tear and eat flesh. Something might be inside the mouth of cow which is making it comfortably chewing those grasses, plant leaves. Inside their body also some adaptation may be there, okay? So now see this one. This is first page number 1 given in your textbook. See here, animal cannot make their own food. You see this line? Yes, I hope you remember in our previous chapter we were dealing about plants. You remember? All green plants make their food. I hope you remember. We call them, what do we call them? What do we call them? We call them autotrophs. Yes, they are able to make their own food. That's why we call them autotrophs. What about animals? Can they make their food? No. See here this line. They cannot make their own food. Okay. And since they cannot make their own food, they find or search their food in their surrounding. What do we call these animals? Or organisms which cannot make their foods? We call them heterotrophs. Please learn these terms. It is going to come again and again in your higher class also, okay? Now see in this picture, later I am going to give you question based on this picture. So be attentive in listening. See here, two pictures are there. In first picture, a squirrel is collecting groundnut. Okay, it is going to eat groundnut. In second one, it is eating termites. You can see that a similar picture was there here also. A bear, it is having fish in mouth and Here in second one, it is having grasses in its mouth. Isn't it? You can see that now. Now, leave it for a while. Let us move ahead. I will come back to this term again. Please observe it nicely. But before that, few terms we should recall. First is habitat. I hope you remember. Area where organisms normally live is called habitat, and adaptation, a similar term, okay, but a different meaning, different features that animal develop to survive in specific environment. It can be adaptation for habitat, it can be adaptation for food and for protection. Hope you remember for plants. In our last chapter in term 1, we have learned about different types of adaptation which plants do to survive in its environment. Yes, like that animals also do. Some of them are adapted to live inside water, like fishes. They can breathe inside water. Can you breathe? No, you cannot breathe. Can a monkey breathe? No, it cannot breathe. So these animals have adapted. Some body modifications are there which make these animals able to survive. Like camel, it is able to survive in hot desert area. Polar bear can survive in ice area, isn't it? Fishes can survive in water. So these are different types of adaptation based on habitat, okay. Their body modification is there. But in this particular chapter, children, we will only focus about food, okay. We are not going to deal about how they are able to survive in the surroundings, what modifications their body is having or adaptations. We will be dealing with only about the modification or adaptations they have done in their body for eating, okay. Only that part we are going to cover in this chapter. So now see this one. There are variety of feeding habits in animal. You remember first in the starting I have shown you pictures. They have adapted themselves according to food they need. Based on that, animals can be classified into following types: herbivores, carnivores, omnivores, and one term which is not there in your book. We are going to deal with that also. You should be aware of that. That is parasites. Okay, so now these terms, you may be aware of these terms. So now let us understand what are these terms. Herbivore come from herb means plant, vor means eat. So those animals which eat only plants part as their food, they are called herbivores, like cow, buffalo, goat, sheep. And what modification they are having? They have very sharp cutting teeth. Okay, in scissor they are very sharp one, and strong flat teeth for grinding plant parts. Okay, you might have seen cow, buffalo continuously chewing, isn't it? And that is possible, that grinding is possible just because of their flat inside, now flat premolars and molars. They are having very flat one. Just because of that they are able to grind it. This is a modification in inside their mouth, especially teeth. Now see, what about carnivorous? Carni means flesh, vor again eat. That means these animals eat another animal as their food. Example: lion, tiger, leopard, all the flesh eating animal which are eating different animal. So what modification? They might be having some special type of teeth to make them able to tear the flesh of another animal. So what are they having? They are having sharp and pointed curved front teeth called canines. Okay, let me show you a picture. Yeah, you can see here a canines, sharp canines here in this picture for tearing flesh, and premolars and molars are adapted for chewing. So so these modifications carnivores are having. Now let us move for omnivorous. What do you mean by omnivorous? Means omni means all. They can eat both plant parts like fruits, leaves, and as well as they eat animals. See here, bear. Okay, bear, you see it is here it is eating grasses. In the second picture it is having fish. So they are having teeth, mixture of teeth, like carnivorous to have tear flesh as well as grinding flat teeth. like herbivorous. So in you remember in the first I have shown you picture of a squirrel. It was the same one. Yes, that squirrel in your book, it is given that picture. Now see this picture I was talking about. Yeah, now coming to this picture, see here it is eating groundnut. It is a plant source, and again in the second one it is eating termite, so it make it carnivorous. It is eating another organism, isn't it? So it is a omnivorous. Okay, I will be giving questions based on that, so please listen carefully. So these things. Now one more term which is not given in your book, that is parasites. So what are these parasites? We have learned about animals eating plant, we have learned about animals eating flesh, we have learned about animals eating both plant and another animal. Third category, these animals live either inside or on our body to obtain food. And what special features they are having? They are having some sucking tubes, so from there they suck blood from host. Example, fleas, lice is there, mosquitoes are there, and sometimes you might get worms inside your stomach. Okay, so these organisms are parasite. Small worms are there, pinworms are there, tapeworms are there. So these are parasite. That term is missing in your book, but you should be aware of that. Okay, so these are parasite. So these are the things. In our next class again we will be revising these things, okay, and few more modifications in different animals we are going to learn. See here, one question to you. Both rabbit and cow are herbivorous. So do you think they are having similar front tooth? Can you give me answer? Yes, children. If you observe nicely, you can see a picture of a rabbit with the teeth. Search in the internet. It will be very nice. The front teeth is different. Okay, I have given you hint. So today what the things we have learned? We have learned the definition of herbivorous, carnivorous, omnivorous, isn't it? And we are now able to differentiate what are these animal, herbivorous, carnivorous, omnivorous, as well as a new term, that is parasites. Okay, rest we are going to learn in our next class. Bye bye, take care.